Welcome to Made in Japan. In this episode, we're opening two boxes. A small one with a Mark III game in it that I've been after for ages, and this big one that's video game related and something else. We'll open that one last, but first, let's open this one.
ようこそラストゲーマーへ Made in Japan!
Well, here it is. It's the Mark III game of Wonder Boy in Monster Land. And as you can tell, it's very well wrapped. We'll just undo this beautiful wrapping. The Japanese always wrap their things so nice. And a friend of mine, Simon, managed to find this for me very cheap in Japan. Oh, it is really wrapped. Whoa. Obviously can't wait to get my hands on it. And look at the condition of it. Usually Japanese take care of their games, and that's why this one's no exception. It's in pristine condition for our 1987 game. And I have been after Wonder Boy in Monster Land for ages on the Mark III, but they're really inflated in price. Now you'll notice on the side here it has FM, and that's for the FM sound module. So it actually has better sound than the regular Master System version. So I'm glad I've got this game. I cannot wait to play it. Yes, it is in Japanese text, but I've played Wonder Boy in Monster Land so many times. I've completed it at least 3 or 4 times. I know it backwards, so I can't wait to see this. So now this brings me to the next box, and as I said, this is video game related and something else, so let's open it up. Oh, look at this. Okay, we'll dispose of that box. Now this arcade board is none other, well, you can't really tell. You may tell because it's got the instructions here. It's a 4-player game. It's made by Sega, and it's of course Quartet. Sega's answer to Gauntlet, pretty much. Now I've already got the board, but my board was actually faulty when I bought the arcade machine, and it's got broken tracks and it's a bit corroded. I didn't want that for the long term. I thought I'd best just to buy a board. Looked on eBay. It's very hard to find Quartet, or Quartet 2 for that matter. The Quartet 2 is the 2-player version of Quartet, and the 2-player version, obviously you can swap the ROMs out and make it a 4-player version, which is just called Quartet. So it's Quartet 4-player, Quartet 2 is the 2-player. Wow, it's incredible condition. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but just the green coming from that board, it's amazing. Now this isn't the standard version of Quartet. This is the first version of it, the first variation of Quartet. It was actually on another System 16 board. So you can see here it's connected by these ribbons, but my other one's pretty much on a big flat board with a ROM board on top. So this is kind of a 2-layer board. This apparently is more reliable, but it costs Sega more to make the board. So that's why they changed their design and made one a bit more probably cost effective. Also have a feeling these ones are more bulletproof to things like corrosion and faults. So I cannot wait to finally get this in the cabinet and power it up. And well, I've still got to finish the cabinet, so it's a little bit away, but I can't wait. I just cannot wait. Now this one, which is wrapped very differently. There's a little bit of a story behind it. My friend Simon, who goes to Japan now and again, finds me bargains, and he actually found this in a thrift store in Japan. Can you imagine a thrift store? You'd probably go crazy. So he found this in a thrift store, and it was so cheap, and I said, you have to buy it. It was like $50, it wasn't even $50. And I said, nah, please buy it for me. And I'm a bit of a radio controlled car fanatic. And I love, of course, Tamiya and Kyosho, but I'm more of a Tamiya fan. I've got some radio controlled cars and I haven't got this one. Because it was so cheap, I had to have it. Let's have a look what it is. Wow, look at this. So here it is, it's Lunchbox, or the Lunchbox. I guess it is just Lunchbox. Now, this was a classic radio control car, typical van style, but with buggy wheels. And this would have been about 83, maybe 84, could have even been 85. And this was alongside the classics that Tamiya made, like the Frog, the Hornet, the Hot Shot, the Super Shot, the Grasshopper. There's so many classics back then. The Fox. So this would have been around that time. And oh wow, and look at that. It even shows you different ways you can paint the car, green or pink. And obviously I like to go for the original colors like yellow. That actually might be a body you could buy, because I don't think you paint this one from memory. So we'll open it up and look at this. Look at that, it's literally brand new. So you can tell it's not the remake version because they're black and white manuals. And this is the colored manual, because they did remake these cars probably around mid-2000s, 2005, 2006. And it's got the blister packet. It's got all the parts in there and the wheels. So it looks like someone's assembled the wheels, and they obviously didn't go too far with it. The antenna, the bull bar there, and it's all the plastics. It looks like everything's there, so that'd be a real fun project to build. I even build with my son, and yeah, play with them. Look, they're not as exciting as some of the new cars these days, but this is it's a vintage car. You more or less put it on the shelf as a shelf queen, and you might give it a run here and there. So that is really cool, and for the price I paid, it's an absolute bargain. Now, just having a look, there is something it is missing, and that is the actual body. I should have known that the body of the car is actually missing. The body's not too hard to find. You can look on eBay and things like that. But yeah, that's a bit sad. Not sure if everything else is there, but look, for the money I paid, most of the parts are there. Well, it's not a bad pickup from Japan. We've got the classic Wonder Boy in Monsterland on Mark III. We've got Quartet, which I've been really wanting to finish off my arcade project, and a radio control car that I always loved and adored when I was a kid in the Lunchbox. So now it's time to put these away.